What is up, boys? It's your boys back here with the Patrick and John, and it's Opoon with Obscure Reference. We're gonna read the latest One Piece chapter, just dropped 1114. Chapter title: Wings of Icarus, and the cover story is Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 4. Go enshrine this sword at Hakamai Senma Shrine in Yasui's stead. That is your surrogate pilgrimage. That's okay, yeah. Pretty self explanatory. Patrick's making a face. Patrick's making a face so hard, is he frozen? I are you messing with me right now? I genuinely don't know if this is for real. Patrick? Patrick? Oh, that's probably him.
Internet being goofy.
Okay, wait, you're back? Okay.
Internet being goofy.
Do you think we'll be fine to move on?
I think that was some momentary lapse. It's been good up until this point.
Okie dokie. Well, let's continue onward then.
Well, let me look at the cover. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Oh, I thought you were making like a reaction face when we got there.
No, I reacted to my page not loading.
Oh, well, that's the face it stuck on. So I was like, man, you're really into this cover story.
I mean, I am. I'm all about it. That seems cool. All right.
Okay,
Anyway.
now
Oh, cool.
read.
Navy HQ, New World. The world will sink under the sea. You'll have to remember. 2 week, 3 weeks. I don't. However long it was. Vegapunk revealed to the world is sinking under the sea. So yeah, we're just getting reaction shots here. Dr. Vegapunk, what are you talking about? And Akainu's just there, just smoking a stogie. Meanwhile, in Mocktown, oh, cool. Yeah, now that's funny. So he decides that when he dies, he's gonna go out throwing the world into chaos? How exactly is the entire world gonna sink underwater, man? And then in Water 7, around here we believe him, but the whole world? He's not talking about high and low tides, is he? And you just see Polly there, he's stressing out. And at Impel Down, we just see Doflamingo. Give me his laugh, John.
Oh man, no.
Okay.
I what is it? What?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't
He's
know.
got such an icon. Yeah. No, that was too Seth Rogen-y.
That wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
anyway,
quick
you
shout out.
see
Love that
him.
they're broadcasting this in prison.
Oh yeah, shout out to that. Uh, but anyway, there's Dofi. He's still chained to the ground. He's just laughing. Oh, that's rich. What if seawater floods down into Impel Down? Isn't it your job to ensure the safety of the prisoners under your care, Magellan?
Ooh.
And there he is, just sitting there outside his cell. That 1 meter rise the other day had the prison panicking. How many meters does it take to sink the whole world? And Dofi's responding, most cities in the world will be wiped out with an extra 5 meters of water. What do you think? Should we all move to much higher ground? And in the Ryugu kingdom, Father, what is going to happen? You see Shirahoshi with Neptune and Megalo, and you see the two counselors there as well. It just sounds so absurd. And now we're back at Egghead. What is he talking about? This is coming from the world's greatest scientist. He can wreak havoc on the world, even with a lie. This is utter nonsense, Dr. Vegapunk. And you just see the girls say, just thinking amongst themselves, destroy the transmission transponder snail. In fact, destroy any life form you can hear. Everything else is secondary. You see York run around. She's got something on her back. She's huffing and puffing. How much are you going to tell them, Stella? Now, speaking of the near future for me, and this is back to Vegapunk's broadcast, assuming that the sensors I built are functioning correctly, the days after I record this message, there should be a most remarkable earthquake that strikes the entire planet. Huh?
Ooh.
Interesting. Is he talking about the earthquake from today? That's Smoothie, okay, and Montdor behind her. Is he talking about the earthquake from today? But Vegapunk's already dead, supposedly. As a result of that, the sea should rise about 1 meter around the world, rendering some islands uninhabitable. Huh? Was that a prophecy? And you just see some island that's not really named, but some people are on boats and they got some bad flooding going on. Beaches around the world will be lost for good. If I am wrong in this prediction, feel free to disregard the rest of this message. And you just see good old Tanjit on his stilts
I
with
can't believe you
Stelly.
remember his name.
I have the volume on my shelf there. I've read it a million times. But he's with this tribe that looks like he's back at his house. But anyway, how's that? Oh wait, sorry. How? That's freaky, man. He totally nailed it. You just see Kuzan on Full of Lead Island. This has happened, however. You should heed my words very carefully. This particular earthquake is not exactly what I would call a natural phenomenon. Hmm? Vegapunk, don't you dare say another word! And you just see Brooke, Saturn, Lilith, and Nami, and it looks like Usopp's still there, and Chopper doing their best to hold Saturn off from getting to Robin. Go away! My own way. I only ever hoped for peace. And Robin's supporting them with their spiderweb stuff, and Saturn's squishing Chopper, and he's saying, "Be gone!" And we're cutting back to another scene. But this was the root of my first sin. What about the power plant, Mars? Not yet. That chamber must not be harmed above all else. I will go. I dreamt of a source of endless eternal energy, and in my desire to push the world forward into the future, and you just see Saturn and you see a light shining onto his face. Ah, the mother flame. I flew too close to the sun. And you just see
Ooh.
a big ass machine. You see a little fire in the middle of it. And this is the mother flame. We've seen it. This is it. Destroy every last sign of life in the lab. And you just see, what? That's Mars, right?
I guess?
And he's saying, not that one either. He was the one that was up there, if I remember recalls. Um, anyway, allow me to explain. It's no good. That didn't work. And, oh, it's the Marines fighting the giant robot machine thing. Um, we can't even make that thing so much as flinch. We're back to the Boar Boy chasing Dory and Broggy. Yow, that's hot. Yeah, and Luffy's just in the back laughing. Um, Allow me to explain just what it is that is happening to our world. And they're still running. Hurry, hurry before we get roasted alive. From about 900 years ago to 800 years ago, a period of a century, there is a span of history that is completely and entirely blank. And we're at Pangea Castle, you just see Emu. They're not super thrilled about what's happening.
They're
Um,
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
you just see all the celestial dragons, they're screaming at the transmission. What are you doing, Navy? Make him stop talking. We call this the Void Century because all records from this time were eliminated. The only means to know this lost piece of history, and oh, I'm blanking on her name. She was with that
Charlos.
one, Charles. Thank you. An execution is too good for him. Bring me his body. I'll mutilate the corpse. And she's asking, Void Century? What is that? Interesting. And we're cutting to another island. Someone can't really see who, but they're kneeling in front of something. The only means to know this lost piece of history is to find a message from the past in the form of poneglyphs scattered across the world. And you cut to Jaguar, just D-Sol, leaning on a pile of logs, just laughing, Dada, she, and decipher its contents. Or in Orangetown. Oh, okay.
Oh, Orange Town.
Well, long, long ago, there were 20 kings who got together, and they created the world. You see Mayor Boodle with Chow Chow. Um, doesn't and they're with a little girl. I don't really think we know who that is, but she's asking Boodle, "Doesn't that man know that? What do you think, Chow Chow?" And he's like, "Burf," or something like that. And we see a brief flash of Amazon Lily with Marguerite, and I'm not gonna remember the other two's names there. I don't think I never knew their names, but back to Vegapunk. However, the world government has made it a crime of the highest order to decipher the message of the poneglyphs. And despite being a member of the government itself, I broke this law. That was my second sin. Through the sheer tenacity of a group of excellent archaeologists, I inherited some texts and a number of poneglyphs, which I have deciphered and continued studying to the best of my ability. I regret none of this. And you just see the Straw Hats are holding off Saturn, and you see Brooks shouting out, Zorro, Jimbei. They're trying to get away looking for their friends. History, you see, tells a story. Wait, something moved. Huh? Look, are the clouds extending outward? Oh, interesting. So when Edison said he would make sure we touched down on water, did he mean, oh, good point. If the clouds stretch farther out, we can reach the sea. Now get off this island, Straw Hats, and don't let the world government lay a finger on you.
Oh,
It looks
Edison.
like he's down for the count, is what it looks like there.
He's not in
Um,
great shape.
no, he's been in better shape for sure. Um, in other words, what I know is an incomplete story of that 100-year void. It would be dishonest to fill the blanks with my own speculation, so I will leave you only with a verified truth. And you see Broggy looking at Luffy. Hey, Straw Hat, don't push your luck. The main character of this story was born into a kingdom with an impossibly advanced civilization 900 years ago. And you see Luffy punching Boar Boy in the head, right in the snout, in the sniffer. This one'll hurt you. Like the sun god Nika spoken of in Elbaf legend, he fought with a body that stretched and contracted. His name was Joy Boy.
No, I think he was a contractor, is what they were going for there.
Contracted, yeah. He contracted limes or something.
Yeah.
And you see Luffy, his hands like all wobbly and wiggly and stuff. And the giants are like, hey, stop trying to make us laugh. And his name was Joy Boy, and he was the very first man on the sea to be called a pirate.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Ooh.
That's the end of the
Fun.
chapter.
Oh man.
We're getting the
He
good
is
stuff.
teasing us so hard it's unpleasant.
Oh man.
Like and with another break week, just come on.
Mhm.
Give me the message.
It's so brutal.
We're right here. We're so close.
Let us have it.
Okay.
Oh,
So, like, don't get me wrong, Vegapunk said a lot of things this time around, but we didn't really learn anything. We're just still in the introductory phase of the message.
yeah. It does feel a little bit like padding, but it's all good stuff.
It is nice to see all the characters from around the world. I'm curious what the one celestial dragon who's like, what's that? Obviously there's some kind of
Fucking
goodness to
name.
her, otherwise, why would we highlight that panel at all?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm blanking on her name. I know her name, and I'll see it and I'll be like, yeah, that's her.
Now, what
But I
I'm
don't
really
remember.
excited about was starting on Impel Down.
Hmm.
With Doflamingo's like, hey, it's your job to keep us safe. What if it starts flooding? And he's like, well, everyone freaked out when it flooded a little the other day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he orchestrates a breakout, but what's going to happen with Impel Down? Like, there's some kind of plot building there.
Yeah, I think it will ultimately result in Dofi and whoever's still down there to, you know, eventually break out, I feel.
Like, that's
That's just kind of
plausible.
my
It's
head's
just
at.
what role does Magellan play?
Does he have a role to play once everyone breaks out of Impel Down?
Like, does he allow them to escape to avoid them all dying? But that doesn't make sense. But does he contain them when he knows they're going to definitely die? Or does he release them because maybe he thinks, you know what, the government's unjust, so the prisons are
Hmm.
unjust? I could buy that. I'd allow that.
Yeah, I can see it going a couple ways with him. He's an interesting character in this particular scenario.
Quick shout out to the fact that Magellan came down to listen to the news with Doflamingo.
Well, hasn't he been down there before? Haven't we seen them chilling with Dofi before?
I know we've seen Dofi. I don't know if we've seen Magellan down there.
Hmm. I could have sworn we have. Anyway,
But
what
yeah,
was there was
just this final saga is not fair. It's really good, and we've hit a very slow patch of it, and it went like I'm getting whiplash with how much it's slowed down.
I feel oh man, yeah, because it is a lot of like cutting across the
Yep.
world,
I
catching
mean,
up with
multiple
different
chapters
characters.
now, we've seen just different cuts of different towns, which is fun. I love that when we do it.
Hmm.
But it's
No, I
been
do too.
multiple weeks while we're getting set up, and then it'll be 10 more minutes. and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna start my message, and then I'm just like, this is what the message is gonna be about, and now we have one where it's the introductory parts that we, the audience, know.
Hmm.
It's really slowed down,
It
which I
has.
guess is fine because Egghead was speeding along there for a while, and I needed some kind of a break.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of been my big complaint ever since we started the countdown to the message. I'm like, I'm not feeling that, and now
Yep.
the message is down a little bit. And like you said, I like cutting across, seeing different things. Like seeing Boodle in chapter 1114 was not on my bingo card, so I'm happy to see people like that show up. But I
Uh,
do want to get the rest of the message.
so yeah, no, definitely the pacing's become an issue. I'm glad we see Saul just like chilling on some logs in the woods, like he's having a
Yeah.
good life. What the hell are we gonna do about Mercury though? Since even Gear 5 can't mess with him.
Yeah, I wonder. It's a good question. 'Cause he's landed blows on the other dragons.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
they've injured other guys, but you cannot mess with Mercury.
Need to find. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
cannot wait for more of the series. But yeah, I mean, just talking about the Void Century, that it exists is the only thing that happened this chapter, really. The
Yeah.
Gorosei are pissed. We know Emu's pissed. We know they found the Mother Flame, but they haven't found the transponder snail. I don't know. I don't know. Not that great of a
Um,
chapter, in my opinion. Nothing particularly bad, but it's just stalled out to the point of we're just looking at everybody's cameos real quick.
yeah, I do like hearing Vegapunk's perspective of his what he thinks his two sins are.
Yeah,
Um,
no, he is at least giving interesting dialogue. It's well written. It's just not new information.
yeah, and I'm glad because like I think anyone could point out that like Vegapunk's heart's in the right place. He's just
Mm-hmm.
not great about using that brain of his. And he's fully admitting it here by saying that when he created the Mother Flame, that was his second big mistake. So I appreciate him owning up to that, even if
Uh,
it is a little late for that.
that being said, I love Sakazuki's reaction.
Mm.
Just where
Hmm.
like he's glaring intensely, like, "What are you about to say?" Obviously, he's been at odds with the government for some time now.
Yeah.
And you know, if all the fan theories are true, and it turns out Dragon used to be a Marine, and maybe either his prodigy slash inspiration slash rival, whatever their relation was, you know, hurt
Hmm.
him to see him become a revolutionary. What if he realizes now it is the Dragon he knew all along, and revolution's the right way?
Yeah.
I'd be so fine if like he had to forgive Dragon and admit he was the one in the wrong.
That'd be cool. I honestly would like a turn like that from Akainu. I know people hate him for what he did to Ace, but
Yeah,
like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a hard-headed jerk, but one way or another, he wants to protect the world. He's just going about it in the worst way.
hmm. No, for sure.
Yeah, I could see him flipping here and being like, "The government betrayed us. We didn't know. Let's, you know, the
Hmm.
revolutionaries were with you guys."
Yeah.
Oh, how
Now,
fun would that be?
I want a quick shout out. I guess not even shout out. I'm just curious what your thoughts on this are. How the Mother Flame up close kind of looks like a devil fruit
It
almost.
definitely it looks like the Marimara no Mi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like about the right size, and obviously it's a flame, so it looks like the flame fruit.
What I want to know is what is the A and ampersand MU
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
like?
Are those no, because MU is not an element on the periodic table, is it?
Nope. Neither is just A.
Yeah.
It's not Mother Flame. Obviously, I can't think of what it is, but I can't imagine we have the Mother Flame and you put those random letters on it when you could have just not.
Yeah, you say that, but I could also see it being just there for flavor.
It's possible. I'm not going to deny it's possible.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't disagree that you don't put something like that there if it doesn't at least hint to something else.
Yeah, like just a quick nod at whoever made it or the people behind its discovery or something.
Hmm.
Um, Giant robot still just on the way. Nothing new on that
Yeah.
front. Dory Bragi, Luffy still running.
Love that. Love their dynamic.
Dory Bragi Luffy? Yeah, no, that's definitely
Hmm.
my favorite plot line at the moment because it's just great to see these guys who they were all buddies on Little Garden.
Hmm.
And here, like, that's not only their god, but they're still just buddies.
They're just, still just goofing.
They're
Yeah.
like, please stop making us laugh. This is very dangerous and serious.
There's so much at stake here. Please stop being an idiot.
But at the same time, they're laughing at him because
Yeah.
that's what he does. No,
Yeah.
it's hands down still the best arc in One Piece so far, in my opinion.
Mm.
At least in recent history, there's a real debate for Water 7.
Yeah.
But man, it's just stalled out. We're not getting much besides fun interactions, but literally no plot development.
Hmm. Yep, we're slowly inching until the next big point, which I imagine will have to do with the Straw Hats escaping and the robot doing something.
Yep, hopefully we get that soon enough. I mean, we got a whole break week, right?
Yeah.
He's got to cook something, right?
Yeah.
But guys, I feel like that'll do it for us for this time. Patrick, you have any other thoughts?
No. Nope.
Yeah, so we're
I
just
got
gonna
them
go
all
ahead
out.
and wrap it up there. If you want to see our next
Oh,
One Piece, yeah,
I looked it up. Her name is Shalia. Shalia.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I was right.
Uh,
I remembered it.
But if you guys want to see the next chapter review we have coming out, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. On bye weeks, we do have other fun little side goofy project videos we like to put up. We also do a lot of movie and trailer reviews on this channel, plenty of gameplay live streams. So if any of that sounds interesting, like I said, be sure to subscribe. Really does help us. If you want to like that video as well, always feel free to get engaged in the comment section. Give us just your wildest theories about what's going on, where the series is going. I'll give you a little taste of one of mine. Zora's final villain, gonna be Buggy. I got a lot of evidence for that one. But if you
Crocodile,
want to hear,
Luffy's mother.
oh yeah, no, that one's confirmed basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
But guys, that'll do it for this time. Goodbye, so long, au
Time
revoir.
for you to say goodbye.